Broadway's new season, we'll have the A-list stars taking the stage. The best new plays and musicals. Plus, the greatest costume collection, star couplings, and second acts for professional dancers. It's Broadway Backstage Fall Preview with hosts Michelle Charlesworth and Zachary Quinto.
Fall in New York has been glorious, and what makes it even better is a great new season on Broadway. I'm Michelle Charlesworth, and I am psyched to be joined by Zachary Quinto, who is currently killing it in the Glass Menagerie.
Killing
Welcome.
It.
Glad to have you here.
To be here. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to get to tell people how much exciting stuff is on Broadway.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
So, Star Trek II was a huge summer hit. You had an Emmy nomination, congratulations,
Thank you.
for American Horror Story. And you're the executive producer of a new Robert Redford film, All Is Lost. So why in the world take on the demands of a Broadway show as well?
Well, I feel like I had to round out my my portfolio. I started in theater when I was a kid. That's how I learned to act, and it's the thing that I've always wanted to come back to. And so it's special, it's unique, and it's something that brings a whole different level of satisfaction and creative fulfillment. I love film and television, and obviously plan to keep working in those mediums. But for me, there's something really special about the theaters.
And I hope that Mr. O'Connor is not too good looking.
As a matter of fact, he isn't. His face is covered with freckles. He's got a very large nose.
He's not right down homely.
No, I wouldn't say right down homely. Medium homely, I'd say.
It's a very underestimated play. People think they know it. People tend to feel like it's a little claustrophobic and a little dusty, and our director, John Tiffany, really unlocked the play. There's no walls, there's no doors. It's a very sort of open landscape, and I think as a result, the relationships between the characters really take on a new life.
Well, it is truly a wonderful season for dramas, and it's also a great opportunity for audiences to rediscover the bard himself, Shakespeare.
It's safe to say this isn't the Romeo Shakespeare had in mind when he penned his tragic love story. But Orlando Bloom and Condola Rashad are a Romeo and Juliet energized with passion.
It sort of feels like a world that is contemporary but holding hands with the past.
Yeah.
So,
I guess they may be surprised that these characters are fiery. And I think a lot of people have an idea that Romeo and Juliet is very like, oh, it's me. But it's not, actually.
We're hoping to breathe a really exciting new life into it. We've made some cuts to keep it kind of punchy and moving forward, but we're using the original text, and it is so beautiful. It's a beautiful language to speak.
Love is a smoke raised with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with lovers' tears. What is it else?
The 36-year-old has legions of fans from his Lord of the Rings trilogy, but this marks his Broadway debut.
It's so much more than what it seems, and it is a monster to undertake. It's a huge undertaking. It's been really exciting.
So wise, so young, they say.
Coming off of a sellout engagement in London and with rave reviews here, Tony winner Mark Rylance takes center stage in a double bill of Shakespeare plays, Richard III and Twelfth Night.
Relenting fool! And shallow, changing women.
He's the title character in Richard III, a ruthless monarch, and equally convincing in Twelfth Night as the love-struck noblewoman Olivia.
I have sent after him. He says he'll come. How shall I feast him? What bestow of him? For youth is bought more oft than begged or borrowed.
Played in tandem and true to its day with an all-male company, both shows include the Shakespearean ritual of the cast dressing and preparing their makeup on stage. It's a unique experience worth coming early to witness.
Costumes in a show like Twelfth Night go a long way in transporting theatergoers to another world, but they can be wildly expensive.
The Theater Development Fund, the nonprofit organization known primarily for the TKTS booth, funds the costume collection.
Based in the Kaufman Astoria Film Studio, it's a lifesaver for low-budget productions, and it's also probably the most outrageous closet you've ever seen.
Our Broadway contributor, Charlie Williams, takes us inside.
We are the largest costume rental place in New York City. Yeah. Everything here has been donated. We don't purchase anything.
Wow, this is incredible. How do you keep all these organized?
With a lot of patience and practice.
So how many pieces do you have in here?
We think we have 80,000.
80,000?
80,000, and that's costumes and accessories, and of all periods and types.
Okay, and tell me who comes in here. Who rents these out?
To be able to come here and rent costumes of this quality at a very low price is really a great thing for many of our, especially our not-for-profit customers. When you've got high schools and colleges who don't have a lot of money to put into building something like this, they can come here and rent it, and then they don't have the commitment of then owning it. For one price, you get an entire look from head to toe. We try to have, you know, as many small accessories and as many things as possible that make up that costume. This is what I like to call the land of hats. You need to know what it is you're looking for. We're a staff of 6, so we don't really have people here who can actually walk around with you. You need to know the sizes of your actors. Most of the things don't have sizes in them.
Because they were custom built.
That's right. You're allowed to do minor alterations. So there is no painting, gluing, dyeing, cutting, or stage blood allowed on our costumes. They're theatrically built costumes, and some of them are historic. This here is actually very historic. This is the original Mark costume from Rent. This was Anthony Rapp's original costume. Everything from a costume worn by Lena Horne on Broadway in The Lady and Her Music, Kathleen Turner, The Graduate. This is a costume, although not worn on Broadway, was worn at the Paper Mill Playhouse by Anne Hathaway.
Ah, before she was Anne Hathaway.
Before Les Mis and before she won her Academy Award. We have a lot of costumes worn by film stars in shows.
Theatrical,
so, like, this is fairly recent. This is Viola Davis and Denzel Washington from the recent production of Fences. Oh, yeah. This is a costume cut from Shrek. This is a costume that was cut from Wicked.
Oh, cool. So that never made it on stage.
Well, it clearly made it on stage for a couple of performances, but was never actually in the show.
Now, if you're thinking you could really rock a swashbuckler's outfit or, say, a showgirl hat for that next costume party, sorry to disappoint. The costume collection does not rent out to individuals. Back to you guys.
There are tours of the costume collection available by appointment. Check out their link on our website, 7online/Broadway.
And up next, a twist on the musical experience.
You know you got Jonathan makes you feel good. This special presentation of Broadway Backstage Fall Preview is sponsored by The Bridges of Madison County, a new musical, and Toyota. Let's go places.